Welcome to the Mystery Mouse podcast. My name is Holly, and I'm coming to you from Colorado, where I live with my husband and our 5 kids and our many pets. And today is Saturday, March 9th. So, I have a lot to talk about today. This is a mostly knitting podcast. I do have some crochet today, and not really too much book talk. I'll just tell you what I've been reading, and a little bit of life update at the end. I have actually a lot of finished objects today. So the first one is my Everywhere sweater, which I will stand up and... So this is my Everywhere sweater. I started this about a year and a half ago. I think I started it in the fall of 2021. No, 2022, the fall of 2022. And this sweater was almost a huge disaster. And there are a couple reasons for that. First of all, I think I picked the wrong size, which, oh, no. I did not pick the wrong size. Watson. So I had a lot of challenges with knitting this sweater, which are mostly, I think, self-inflicted challenges. So when I picked the size, the designer, Devin of Knitty McPurly, she said, you know, this is ribbed. It's a ribbed sweater, so it's very stretchy. So when in doubt, pick a smaller size. So I did. I don't remember what size I was knitting. I have no idea. But then when it came time to split for the sleeves, I kind of, you know, tried it on, and I didn't think that there was enough room for my arm. Like maybe it was the depth, I don't know. So I kept knitting, and I think increasing, and I went up to the next size. This is what I think I did, because this was a long time ago. So then, you know, I knit the body. That was fine. And then I knit the sleeves, and I made some mistakes on the sleeves, which I talked about last time. This one, I waited too long. I think it's this one. I waited too long to decrease, but I was not going back, and it's fine. And you really, you know, when you're wearing it, you can't tell. But then I went to add the neckband, and I read the directions, and I picked them up, and it's just supposed to be a stockinette neckband. So it goes all the way around, you know, down the front and the button band and all that. So I picked it up and I knit it, and maybe I knitted a little too long, and I knew it was going to roll because it's stockinette, and then you can block it, and when you button it and it's all stretched out, it'll kind of firm up, you know, and be fine. So I knit it, and I cast it off, and I was so excited, and I tried it on, and it was like a strangely shaped beast. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, and I think this is the problem. I have small shoulders. I've talked about this before. I have small shoulders, and so it was probably a good idea that I started with a smaller size, right? But when I was picking up the neckband, I should have decreased instead of just knitting it straight, because I needed it to pull in. So this is what it looked like when I finished my first band. I will show you. I'll put a picture in here. Ugh, I can't even look. Anyway, it was not good. And like, so I just put it away. It wasn't that long ago, but I was like, I can't look at you right now, because it was so much knitting. It was like 3 days of knitting, just that band, you know. Anyway, so I finally, I come to terms with the fact that I can't fix it without ripping it all out. So I ripped it all out. And another thing is that the front is very short. Like, I made this kind of cropped, and I really like the length. It just comes down past the waistband of my jeans. So I really liked the length, but it was pulling up a little bit on the body because there just aren't very many stitches here on the body. So what I did was I picked up twice as many stitches along the straight part of the front, twice as many. And I think what I did to do that was I picked up one, because I think you're already supposed to pick up one for every slipped stitch on the body, you know, the front part. So I picked up one and then I like cast one on, and then I picked up one and then I cast one on, so that it was twice as many. Then when I got to the V, I like picked up two and then I cast one on. I picked up two and I cast one on because I didn't want this part to be too small. But then when I got to the raglan shaping, I picked up like every other stitch, and along the back neck also. And I really, when I was knitting it, I was really questioning whether I should have picked up more stitches along the back neck, because it was like this big. And of course the, you know, the back of the sweater is much bigger than that. So, but it turned out really good. And then when I cast off, and I shouldn't have done this one, when I cast off this part, I like, I made a stitch here to cast off on either side of this point, because there was like this little, I don't know if you can see this, there's this little like V and then it drops. So I like right here, I was casting off, you know, and then I made one, cast off a regular one, made one, cast that one off. And that gave it this little dip. And I don't really think it needs that, but it's okay. I don't mind. And then, but when I got to the V, I made one. I think I just did one. I didn't do it on either side. So like I cast off and then I like did a backwards loop and then I cast off over that. And that just gives it a little room to turn without it pulling. Because since I was being much more intentional about my my stitches, I don't know, I just thought that would be a good idea, and it worked out pretty good. And also I have this nice line here, so I also did it in ribbing. I forgot to mention that I did it in ribbing so it wouldn't curl, and then I cast off on the wrong side in purl. I didn't cast off in rib, and that gave it this really nice knit stitch thing, which I really like. So I'm super happy with it now, and it fits really well. It stays on my shoulders really well. So if you are having trouble with, especially a V-neck, because a V-neck can be very open and fall off your shoulders easily. It's not like a crew neck that's like pulling in all the way up here. But I would really recommend just having fewer stitches in your band up here, because that really pulled it in, and it was like, oh, I was so thankful that that worked, because this sweater, even though it's a bulky weight sweater, was a lot of work. And so I'm so happy with it now, though. I really love it. I love the pockets. It's just a cute little pocket. And the pockets are just in stockinette. And also this is bulky with mohair held together, and this I just did in the bulky. I didn't worry about the mohair. No one is going to care. So that is my everywhere sweater. I'm so glad it's done, and I'm wearing it with my Stars and Stripes shirt, because we are going to Washington, D.C. next week. So I'm going to take this, and I'm excited to wear it. Hopefully, I would love to get a picture of this at like the Lincoln Memorial or something. I think that would be cool. So we shall see. But anyway, that is my everywhere sweater by Knitty McPurly. I love it. I'm so glad I made it. I would kind of like to make another one. I'm just not ready to do all that rib. Not yet. But now that I kind of know what I'm doing, I think that I could make better choices. Yes, better choices. So that is my first finished object. There's a lot of red in this episode, so just warning. This is a refinished object. I have been wanting to do this for a long time, but remember this sweater I knit for Grady? It's kind of dirty, sorry. It's got some yogurt on it, I'm sure. But I just added a little to the bottom. You can really see it. I think this is from a different dye lot, but it's the same yarn. It says Debbie Bliss Baby Cash Merino. And actually, I think I used some of this dye lot up here in the hood because you can see this darker stripe. But anyway, this is a very wide sweater, or it's very stretchy because it's cabled and ribbed, but it was just kind of short. So I just picked up and added like some ribbing on the bottom because it just starts right away with the cables. And I'm really happy with how that turned out too. I put a little garter ridge in there because I was worried about my what do you call them? My ribs lining up where they were supposed to. And on the front, they line up really well. On the back, they do not. So I don't know why, it just didn't work out. So because I want him to be able to wear this when we go to Washington, D.C. It's almost too short in the sleeves. I think he doesn't have much more time in this, so I just wanted to give him a little more growing room. So that is Grady's sweater. Another finished object. Well, I will say this is a finished object, but there's still another thing I want to do to it, which I will show you. But so I finished my beret that I was making for our Fancy Reading Needlecraft Club, which we read the Scarlet Pimpernel, and this was my Scarlet Pimpernel inspired yarn. So this is the Classic French Beret by, I will put it down below. I can't remember. But it's a free pattern on Ravelry. Does this look okay? I'm trying to be French. I don't know. Should I floof it the other way? Maybe. But I really like how it turned out. It's so cute. And it was so funny because I washed it, I blocked it. I fully wet blocked it because it was kind of lumpy and stuff where the increases were, or the decreases, I guess. Because you start here and then you increase and then you decrease to the little nub. I don't know if I made the nub long enough either. Whatever. But it was kind of bumpy, you could really see where the decreases were. So I fully wet blocked it, and then it was huge. It was like the size of a dinosaur head. So I put it in the dryer, and I was just going to kind of dry it until it was slightly damp. Well, I dried it until it was slightly damp. It was still huge. I just let it dry all the way, and then it was fine. It snapped back. But I was worried about the decreases being bulky still, but they were okay. But what I want to do, Stephanie of Texas Peach Knits for our Fancy Reading Needlecraft Club designed a little Scarlet Pimpernel cross-stitch flower. I think it goes like this. And so I cross-stitched one, and it's not done yet. I need to put, and there's some mistakes in here, don't look too closely. I need to put some yellow French knots and a leaf, and then I can, what I'd like to do is cut it out around it. This is on black Ada. I want to cut out around it and put it on a piece of black felt, and then put it on my hat. Wouldn't that be so cute? I think it will be cute. So that's what I'm planning to do, and then I will be secretly like in the order of the Scarlet Pimpernel. Yes. So that's my plan for my beret. So that's those three red things right there off the bat. Now, we are in the midst of the Wildflower Knitalong with Wise Owl Knits. Fabulous the Wise Owl Knits fabulous Wildflower Tee pattern. I have 3 Wildflower Teas on the go, so let me show you those. So first I have Mary's. Oh goodness, this is going to be a mess. First I have Mary's in the Wizard of Oz color, and I'm getting down the body. I think last time I was just in here somewhere, so I've knit like an inch or something. So that's how that's going, and I really want to have these done by the end of March so we can wear them for Easter. That is my goal. And then I have Ivy. Oh, and this is in a Delightful Works bag. Then I have Ivy's. This is in a Sassy Sacks by Yaddy bag. Now Ivy's I have posted many pictures of, but I tried it on her and I think she needed a little more room under her arms. So I ripped it back just to the armhole separation, and I knit another colorwork section and did another increase so that she could have a little more room under her arms before I split for the sleeves. So actually I knit it back. So actually I ripped it back just past the sleeve separation to where I separated for sleeves, and then I continued and did another increase, and now I have split for the sleeves again. So I will be continuing down the body with that one, and this one is a lot fewer stitches, so I'm hoping that that will go quickly. And it's more plain knitting, which is always great when you're tired. And then I have in my Delightful Works Little Princess bag, which is specifically for this knit along, I have started my my Wildflower Tee. So I don't have a lot done on this because I got a cold, and then I got derailed by a little project, which I will show you in a second. But I'm so excited to get back to this. I am probably going to take this with me on my trip and try to make some tracks on it, because if I can get them all to the body, that's not a guarantee that they'll get done, but it feels much more doable. So that is the thing I'm looking forward to working on the most right now. If you want to join in the Wildflower Knit Along, there's still plenty of time. I think she's not going to the end of March. It's like into April, I think, a couple weeks. So feel free to join us. The pattern I will put a link to down below, and she has a Telegram group. You just need to let her know you want to be joined to that, and you can see all the different people's progress and everything. It's so much fun. Another new project that I started is in this vegetable bag I made for myself. This is a crocheted blanket pattern made by Anita, I think. And this is a paid for pattern that I got on Etsy. I got it the day she released it. I was waiting for it. I was so excited. This is for my Make 9 2024. And it is like a crocheted quilt. And I finished one block, so I have to show you. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. So nice. Oh, the light really changes, I guess, depending on where I put this. Anyway, so it's not hard, but it's a lot. It's a lot to get this one thing done. So, and you can see it's quite big. I mean, the pattern calls for DK, and I'm knitting it in worsted. I'm just knitting it in worsted acrylic from Hobby Lobby. But it's really nice. It's really nice and soft yarn. What was I going to say about this? I have not woven all my ends in yet. I did weave some of them in, because in parts of the pattern she's like, stop and weave in your ends. So, which is very responsible of her. But I have not done it yet in all of the places. I'm sorry, I'm still getting over my cold. I will try not to sniff. So anyway, you start with the center, you make, this granny square, and then you go out from here, and there's color changes, and I've never done that before, and it was not as hard as I thought it would be. And she has a very, very helpful tutorial that she has linked in the pattern. So that really helped, because there were a few times in the pattern I was like, what? And then I watched her do it, and I was like, oh, it made sense. So then you finish off this square, then you make these little half triangle, well, they're a square with half one color and half the other, and then you attach it. She uses join as you go, which I've never done before. And then you make a plain granny square with join as you go for the corners. And then you go all the way around it with a single crochet. That was a little bit of a challenge because you have to get the right number. And so I kept having to count, But by that time I was like really invested. Like I just want it to be right. So I don't want it to be all wonky. Anyway, I have finished this one. That's the only one I finished. I've started some other ones because I think what I'd like to do is make them sort of as, what do you call them? I'd like to do it kind of assembly line style. So I'd like to get all of them to a certain point. So I've done some centers. So I did this one, which is really pretty. And then I started this one. So it's kind of a, it's going to be kind of a pastel with brown and cream kind of thing. I haven't worked on it in a little while, but I'm looking forward to just having this be kind of a long-term pick up when you feel like crocheting kind of project. So that is my, it's called Quiet Sky. It's my Quiet Sky blanket. All right, now the thing that derailed me from my Wildflower Tee is that I got sick. I stayed home sick from co-op this past week, and we are going to Washington, D.C. with my family, my 5 kids and my husband and me, and one of our friends and her 2 kids. So I am making us all, except for Grady because he doesn't care, making us all a little present to go with us on the trip. So I would like to show that to you. If you are going with me on the trip, please look away for like a fast forward for a few minutes. And this is what I'm making. So cute. This is a little Kleenex. It's like a travel Kleenex box holder thing for those little travel size Kleenexes. So cute. Especially because we all just are getting over this cold. And it's on there. And so it was really fun. So I picked out colors for everybody. I used my row 1 minis that I get every month. I held them triple. And it is a very simple little pattern. Let me show you. So it's just a square. It's just a square. And you do little contrast color on the edges. And then you fold it up and sew it together. And it's so much fun. It was perfect for when I was sick. So this is a pattern by Lisa Hennessy in her book, Knit, Pray, Share, which I will link down below. And it's a great book for if you want to do charity knitting or gift knitting, very simple little projects, and kind of unusual things. I think this is, I've never seen a pattern for this before. When I was looking through this book, I got it from my secret sister at church with our ladies group. And sorry. This pattern caught my eye right away, so it was kind of like I was really excited to have an excuse to make it. So anyway, I had to make 9 of them, so I'm almost done. I just have these 3 to sew up, and then I will be done. Here's some of the other ones I've made. And I'm gonna put this little clippy thing on them. So I just got, these came with like a bigger, it's like a keychain ring, you know, the split ring. I'm not doing this the wrong way. But I am just doing it, I attached a smaller split ring and just put it through the corner stitches, and so then they can stick it on their bag. I mean, if they want to clip it inside their bag, but it would be kind of nice if they wouldn't, because you know, this is the kind of thing that will just fall to the bottom of your bag and be like, trying to get it out. So I made that one. This one's for Teddy. It's kind of like the Mario colors because that's his thing. Toby did like camo colors. And then here's this one. This one. Some of them I've stuffed with tissues and some of them I have not. So anyway, I really enjoyed making those, and I will probably be making more just because they're fun and easy. And I was thinking I should make one for my mom. My mom is like, she always has a little thing of Kleenexes in her purse. So that is my plan. I think that's all the knitting I have for you today, and crochet. I have worked a little bit on my mom's Christmas cross stitch. Watson. I've worked a little bit in my mom's Christmas cross stitch, so maybe next time I podcast, I'll show you how that's going. And I have been really wanting to cross stitch. I think spring is a cross stitch time for me because every spring I really want to cross stitch. I'll tell you, I have this goose cross stitch. I don't know if I've shown it before. I probably have. But I have this goose or duck, whatever, cross stitch that I always want to work on in the spring, only in the spring. It's very springy kind of picture. It's like flowers on both sides and the little ducks walking up the center towards the house. It's so cute. But, you know, I'm really close to finishing that, so I'd kind of like to finish that too. Ivy is almost done with her crocheted sweater. Thank you so much for everybody who's encouraging my girls with their stuff. Ivy is almost done. She has sewn it all up together and weaved in her ends, and now she's just doing the neckband. You have to crochet a separate neckband and then sew it on. So she is trying to get that done for the trip also. Mary is being a little slower on her sweater, so we need a little encouragement for Mary. But they are both doing that. And Mary has started a little cross stitch, which I will ask her if she wants to show next time. It's a little Christmas cow with milk and cookies. It's so cute. So what I've been reading lately is the Scarlet Pimpernel, because we just finished our round of the Fancy Reading Needlecraft Club. Thank you so much if you joined us on that. That was so much fun, and a lot of people said they had never read the Scarlet Pimpernel before, and we're really happy that they read it. It's really a good book. It's really exciting, and it kind of really draws you in, and it's just a great story. And I have never read any of the Scarlet Pimpernel sequels. I didn't even know there were sequels. And Pinkava mentioned that there were sequels, and we were all like, what? So I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open for that on like Thrift Book and whatnot. I wanted to tell you about this other book that Baroness Orczy wrote that I really love, and it is this, Lady Molly of Scotland Yard. And it's kind of like a really over-the-top girl detective in an old-fashioned vein, like girl Sherlock Holmes. Let me see if I can figure out what year this was originally published. This says 1999. That is incorrect. Oh, 1912. Okay, 1912. So it's probably a contemporary 1912 kind of heroine. But it's really good. It's so funny and interesting, and she's got some great little mysteries. So it's kind of like short stories. So if you really like the Scarlet Pimpernel and you like mysteries, I would recommend you look for this book. Also by Baroness Orczy. Let me see. So, besides the Scarlet Pimpernel, I have just been continuing in my shoe books vein era I'm in of reading all the shoe books. So I've read ballet shoes, skating shoes, circus shoes, family shoes, traveling shoes. Oh, traveling shoes. I love that one too. That's so good. And then tennis shoes and movie shoes. I'm on movie shoes right now. I don't know if I had this one to show last time. Maybe I did. It's got this lovely Thrift Book barcode right on the front. But I just started this one. I just finished tennis shoes. And tennis shoes and movie shoes, I think I've only read once because I got them not too long ago. So that was kind of fun because I didn't really remember what happened. So the other ones I have, you know, I've got them down. But I am definitely a comfort reader and watcher. I like to rewatch things. It's not that I never do new things, but I gotta be in an adventuresome mood for that. So anyway, I think that's all I have for you today. I think this is going to turn out to be a little bit of a shorter episode. I'm hoping to vlog. I'm a terrible vlogger, but I'm hoping to film a little bit of footage when we're in DC, you know, out looking at doing the sightseer stuff, because, you know, not everybody's been to DC and it's kind of cool. I have been there several times with my husband. He goes to a conference every year this time of year. And so I've been with him a few times, but we've never taken all the kids. So they have never seen all the, you know, the monuments or the museums. We're hoping to go to the Holocaust Museum, which will be really interesting. And we're hoping to go to Mount Vernon and the National Gallery, which is one of my favorites. And so I will try to do some filming so that you can come along with us. And I think that is it. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.